Oh, thank you.
Okay, so our recording started, so we're good to go whenever you guys are ready. Yes. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I haven't been keeping track of time, so. Mhm. 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 So it sounds like this is maybe your first or second year for doing that standards-based grading. All right, that's a big transition. How are you liking it? Mhm. Mhm. Right. Right. Hmm. Very good. All right. Very good. So looking at this as an advanced educational professional, how we would apply data and data analysis to ensure the continuous improvement plan in my district or school is focused on closing gaps. Taking a look at the background information, we're a pretty small school. We're hovering at about 300 to 400 students for the entire district, K through 12. So we're real small. And as such, we have smaller pools of data to work with. Um, and we have less measures than some of the larger districts I've been in the past. Um, so as far as the current collection and data analysis, we use Ames Web to assess math and reading, whereas we collect data on just your percentage grades, and then we also do standards-based grade cards. We're in I think it's the third year of implementing those, and like you've mentioned, we see a lot of bias in that and a lot of just kind of subjective grading. And one of the goals that I would have in the data process and looking at this continuous improvement plan with our data is really making a point to apply the data we have, both the summative assessments through things like Ames Web as well as our formative daily assessments, to make that a little less subjective and have hard data to know this is why the student is meeting the standard or approaching a standard or does not meet a standard. And really that would drive us more and more towards an individually targeted plan for each student where we're addressing what standards they need and filling in those holes and gaps according to an individual student's need rather than just kind of shotgunning it for the whole class. Um, so, yeah, I guess we're ready for clarifying questions if you guys have any. So Ames Web is kind of like Dibbles or another assessment tool. So we have a math side, and so they've moved most of it online. And so students take I think it's about an 8-minute test. At least that's what it used to be. I'm not as familiar with the new one. We just switched over this year. And they would do 8 minutes of looking at what would be recommended uh, content and problems for third grade, which is what I teach as well. Um, and so they have some computation, and then they have just fluency based problems where they're purely saying, hey, add this, subtract this, divide this. And they've got some more application based on the math side of things. And the reading, you've got a comprehension test where they read through a passage and they're filling in words to make sure that they have comprehension of it. On the other side is more of what you would see with Dibbles, where it's fluency and words per minute read and accuracy. So that just kind of gives us some baselines as to where students are at. We do that 3 times a year, spring, winter, and they're at the end of the year also. Um, Technically, yes. In reality, no. So I'm the only third grade teacher. Um, and so I suppose I have that conversation with myself, but no, our building principal is currently our superintendent as well. So his time is um, very limited. So that's somewhere I'd love to see some more communication. Elizabeth, you mentioned getting together with the higher grade levels, and that would be great on looking at my perspective of this is the first year kids take assessments. I'd love to be able to build some of those lines of communication and just give a heads up of here's some kids to keep an eye on, here's some things to watch out for in future years. Right, right, exactly. Yeah, yes. All right. Well, I'm glancing through here, and I think we pretty well. Oh, I didn't even see that one. Okay. Is that hidden on there? Gotcha, gotcha. I would say that probably the most helpful thing would just be the reality that data is not this ethereal concept that's out there. I mean, you always hear the term data, and it's like, oh yeah, I should be using that, but what does that actually mean? And there's a lot of practical tips and suggestions that bring that down to a level that I can actually start using in my classroom. Uh, it's a little convicting because I know I'm not right now to the extent that I need to be, but that's definitely a good place for improvement. So, yes, yes. All right. Very good. As you get started, just a heads up, I'm at about 11 minutes. It looks like we've got a 15-minute screen recording, so we might have to pause in the middle of yours and start a screen recording with two videos, but okay. Mhm. Yeah, that's an intimidating law. Where are you stationed or where are you at? Michigan. Man, are the teachers happy about that one? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Hmm. Right. Yeah, that sounds like a lot.